And in all probability, midge fishing, I guess, compared to most other aspects of fly fishing, demands a little more attention to detail, mainly due to the fact that those fish are feeding on a very small microorganism, and more to the point, their visual sight is very, very small, and that means you've got to be a little bit more precise in your presentations, how you present those flies to the fish without spooking or scaring them. If they see it in that very small zone of water that you're fishing, either in the stages of transition before it just gets into the surface film or it's on the surface film, they eat it. Like I said, the deal is at the end of the day, getting your fly where it needs to be, where the fish are looking for it. You notice also when I make my forward cast, I don't aim my fly line at the water. I kind of stop my rod, so to all intents, watch again, I'll demonstrate that. I stop my rod short of that, so everything turns over and lands down on the surface of the water. And we got a decent fish on here, I think, Jim. Ain't that just a dandy fish on a midge? Riggings. We have got essentially 4 basic options. The one is that we fish a straight line system with a leader to a tippet section determined by whatever size of the fly we're using. Could be 5x, 6x, 7x or 8x in extreme circumstances, directly to our fly. So what's our definition of a midge fly? Well, to all intensive purposes, it's a very small fly tied on a very small hook. And midges really cover a whole scenario of different food sources that those fish feed on. Not necessarily chironomids, it could be aphids, it could be little tiny mayflies, whatever. The fact of the matter is, by definition, as far as our fly fishing terminology is concerned, we generally define midge flies as flies that are tied on very small hooks. You know, I can't remember, you know, the numbers of big trout. What I mean by big trout, I mean fish that are 20 inches or more that I've caught on micro small flies and fine tippets, and there's a great deal of satisfaction there because you know to have achieved the end result, to hold that fish in your hand, you've done everything right. From your approach, your visuals, how you've chosen or selected the fly, how you built your leader system, your casting, your presentations, everything's pretty much got to be right to get that end result, and it's very satisfying when you've achieved that.